my 101 and the first pick of this draft will be the contract Brett Veach signed Mahomes to. So the contract lengthwise, value wise, it really locks in Mahomes to a nice rate. Even if he wants to renegotiate it, there's already a framework in place with years to add more money onto it. I don't think that'll happen for a few years. So locking Mahomes in at that $45 million a year rate with easy paths to restructure it, the value, the way it can be used, it's possibly the best contract in the league. I say that's probably the best move Brett Veach has made so far as Chiefs GM.
Yeah, and you look, like you mentioned, the quarterback value across the league and how guys like Matt Stafford. I mean, I'm a huge Matt Stafford guy. Everyone knows that.
Right.
Getting paid a ton of money, like a bleep ton of money. These guys keep
over
getting
40
more
million,
and more.
I think.
I think it is. I think it's like 42 or 43. I could be wrong. But even if not, guys are getting a ton. Like Lamar Jackson's deal is going to be coming up. He's going to get a boatload of money. Mahomes, to get that over an extended period of time, not only the Chiefs do they have the short-term flexibility every year to say, well, we're going to dip into that fund or we're not. And this offseason, they elected not to. But long-term, to not have the market affect the contract every year, every 3 years, or every 4 years, it is freaking nice.
Yeah. So right now, already, Mahomes in 2024, in the meat of his contract extension, is the fourth highest quarterback cap hit. And that's without Lamar getting a deal. That will be during around where we'll see Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert's new deals. So it's already paying dividends, paying him before time and having it be a long contract. So I just feel like that plus the length and how flexible it is, it just feels like the best contract in the league already.
I have a contract as my number one move. I had the Mahomes contract as my second overall like big board pick. So we're definitely going to have me like under pressure to find some stuff during this podcast, which is
I think there's some below this that are like, they're obviously really good. I just feel like because it's the best player in the franchise, the most important position, getting that contract just was far away above other things.
Yeah. So do I get back-to-back picks? Is that how this
back
works?
to back? We're going back to back basically from now on with the 2-person draft.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to go Tyrann Mathieu. I think perhaps the best free agent signing ever for the Chiefs. All Pro Bowl talent for the first 2 years of the deal, almost single-handedly reshaped the culture of the Chiefs defense, proved to be uber versatile, covered up a lot of things that weren't going right for the Chiefs defense, super helpful, great guy in the community, great guy for the team. Despite the last year of his contract being obviously what it was, making business decisions, knew he wasn't going to come back, got banged up, all that stuff. The first 2 years were worth it. Specifically, the first year was worth it for him to lead the team. Like he is like the epitome, I think, of a championship player. Like the whole championship swagger thing, the whole, I'm going to put the team on my back, the defense on my back. He played a bunch of slot. He just did everything necessary. And it was 3 years, $42 million. Like it wasn't a huge, crazy deal. It wasn't anything crazy. It was objectively a bargain. I know that it may not have ended how people wanted it to, how he wanted it to. But with that said, for what it was, that was one of the best moves, if not the best, that Veach has done, I think.
He was the heart and soul of a defense that won the Super Bowl, and a defense that was very important in winning the Super Bowl. People forget the defense during the run at the end of 2019 was almost as much of a reason they got there as the offense. Like in order to come back from down 24-0 against the Texans, which I think 14 of those points weren't even on the defense. They had to go on a 51-7 run. Well, the Texans only scored 7 points. The defense was just as important in that run, just as important across the playoffs. They stopped the 49ers late in that Super Bowl, let the Chiefs win, while the offense was floundering, by the way. Mahomes even himself was floundering. Their stops were critical. Tyrann Mathieu was the biggest part of that. He was their leader. So hard to really argue with that being the second pick.
Yeah. And then my second pick, I guess.
I'm interested to see which one this is.
I have the Travis Kelce contract extension.
Okay. That was my third too.
Yeah. With David Njoku getting comparable money now, and like Kelce obviously being the best tight end in the league throughout his I don't want to say generation, but like kind of his generation, even with Gronk, like with the injury history and all that stuff with him, I'd still say Kelsey was the best of this time. He's in talks for the best ever. Like Kelsey, for him to get that money that didn't ultimately reshape the market, then Kittle got paid. Now Njoku got paid. Mark Andrews got paid. For Kelsey to not be clearly ahead of all those guys, or
Yep.
even really close to clearly ahead of all those guys, that's a bargain. I get the age. I get that maybe there's going to be some wear and tear. There already was kind of signs of it last year, but he kept on chugging along. That contract just absolutely fantastic.